Shabbat Shalom, my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. All of us who love Yahuwah Elohim Almighty and keep His commandments, honor His Sabbath day. And welcome all those who cling to the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Keep the Most High first and keep His law.
That's what we're doing over here. We're resting.
We're chilling on the Sabbath. That's what we doing. We chilling on the Sabbath.
We're chilling on the Sabbath.
I know y'all go to church on Sunday.
They all
We're
confused.
chilling on the Sabbath. We chilling on the Sabbath. The seventh day of the week.
We're chilling on the Sabbath.
Friday sundown.
Saturday sundown.
Say we're chilling
On the Sabbath.
while everybody's out.
Doing what they want to do. We're reading scriptures and singing to the Most High.
Cause we know the law.
And we keep the Father's holy commandments.
So let people say what they want to say. Let them mock you.
For keeping His day, yeah.
We gon' be ready when Christ returns. They be having church
On the wrong day,
and they despise everything.
thing that we say, yeah.
Even when we show them
In the holy word. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy.
and we should always
Okay, let me get on with the word. Family. And this one will be entitled, Israelite Family, the nature of 83 must be exposed and dealt with. And we know that Esau is the leader of the Psalm 83 nations. You turn to Psalm 83 and it start naming the nations that conspired against God's chosen people. Esau, Edom is named the first. So they're the ringleader of the Psalm 83 nations. Okay, so in this message, family, I want everybody to see the power of Yah through the seed of Jacob and the wickedness in the nature of Esau and those nations that are with him. And in this message also, family, you will see at the death of Jacob, Esau's brother, and when Joseph and his brothers and all those who come from Egypt to bury him, Esau and his sons and those with them turn out and turn the funeral out. They turned it out, but they did not prevail against the seed of Joseph. Okay, the seed of Jacob and his sons. Esau did not succeed against them. Okay, you'll see also in this message that. Okay, so I'll start reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 30, verses 1 and 2. Okay, and it says this, family. And Jacob went forth, continuing his road to Haran. And he came as far as Mount Moriah, and he tarried there all night near the city of Luz. Now, he was with Laban and his family for 20 years, where he worked for that man. 7 years to get Leah, 7 years he worked for him to get Rachel. And he altogether stayed with Laban 20 years. But in that time, Yah had blessed Jacob with all kind of livestock and all kind of maid servants, men servants. He had a lot of riches. So Yah had blessed him. And he's on his way back to the land of Canaan, where Yah told him to leave Laban and go to his mom and dad, Isaac and Rebekah. Okay, so that's what him and his family is doing. And then in the meantime, Laban sent his servants to go tell Esau that Jacob had left with his daughters and stole a lot of his stuff. And so Esau, he's going to believe it. And so he's going to gather 400 men and meet Jacob, and try to kill his brother. Okay, but Jacob going to find out about it, and he's going to pray to our father and watch what our father do for Jacob. Okay, because Esau and his men are coming after him and his people. Okay, and it says here, and Yahuwah appeared there to Jacob on that night, and he said to him, I am Yahuwah the Most High of Abraham and the Elohim of Isaac your father. The land upon which you lie, I will give to you and your seed. And behold, I am with you and will guard you wherever you go, and I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and I will cause all your enemies to fall before you, and when they shall make war with you, they shall not prevail over you. And I will bring you again to this land with joy, with children, and with great riches. Okay, family, moving on to Book of Jasher, chapter 32. Okay, chapter 32, and just let me read a little bit more of chapter 32 ahead of verse 19. But I want you to get an understanding that Yah had blessed Jacob, and he told him to go to the land of Canaan. Okay, verse 32. This is chapter 32, verses 1 all the way. I'm gonna stop at 19. Okay, and then I'm gonna continue from 19. But I'm gonna say something first before I continue. Okay, Book of Jasher, chapter 32, verse 1. And it says, and at that time Jacob sent messengers to his brother Esau toward the land of Seir, and he spoke to him words of supplication, and he commanded them, saying, Thus shall ye say to my Adonai, to Esau, Thus says your servant Jacob, Let not my Adonai imagine that my father's blessing with which he did bless me has proved beneficial to me, for I have been these 20 years with Laban, and he deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. Okay, as it has all been already told to my Adonai, and I served him in his house very laboriously. And the Most High afterward saw my affliction, my labor, and the work of my hands, and he caused me to find grace and favor in his sight. And I afterward, through Elohim, great mercy and kindness, acquired oxen, asses, and cattle, and men servants and maid servants. And now I am coming to my land and my home, to my father and mother, who are in the land of Canaan. And I have sent to let my Adonai know all this in order to find favor in the sight of my Adonai, so that he may not imagine that I have of myself attained wealth, or that the blessing with which my father blessed me has benefited me. And those messengers went to Esau and found him on the borders of the land of Edom, going toward Jacob, and 400 men of the children of Seir and Chori were standing with drawn swords. And the messengers of Jacob told Esau all the words that Jacob had spoken to them concerning Esau. And Esau answered them with pride and contempt, and said to them, Surely I have heard, and truly it has been told to me that Jacob has done to Laban, who exalted him in his house and gave him his daughters for women, and he begot sons and daughters, and abundantly increased in wealth and in riches in Laban's house through his means. And when he saw that his wealth was abundant and his riches great, he fled with all belonging to him from Laban's house. Now that's a lie. Laban sent his servants to go tell Esau those lies about Jacob, okay? And he led Laban's daughters away from the face of their father as captives taken by the sword without telling him of it. That is a lie. Yah told Jacob to go to the land of Canaan to his father Isaac and his mother Rebekah. And Yah blessed Jacob with all those riches. Okay? He did not steal nothing from Laban, okay? This is the lie. Laban, when he got back home, he saw that Jacob was gone with all his stuff. And he sent servants to go tell these lies to Esau. And now Esau is hot in the collar. Now he wants to go kill Jacob and all his people. Okay, check this out. And not only to Laban's has Jacob done this, but also to me has he done so, and has twice supplanted me. And shall I be silent? Now therefore I have this day come with my camps to meet him, and I will do to him according to the desire of my heart. And the messengers returned and came to Jacob and said to him, We came to your brother, to Esau, and we told him all your words, and thus has he answered us. And behold, he comes to meet you with 400 men. Now then, know and see what you shall do, and pray before Elohim to deliver you from him. And when he heard the words of his brother, which he had spoken to the messengers of Jacob, Jacob was greatly afraid, and he was distressed. And Jacob prayed to Yahuwah Elohim, and he said, O Yahuwah Elohim of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, you did say to me when I went away from my father's house, saying, I am Yahuwah Elohim of your father Abraham and the Elohim of Isaac. To you do I give this land and your seed after you, and I will make your seed as the stars of heaven, and you shall spread forth to the four sides of heaven, and in you and in your seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And you did establish your words, and did give to me riches and children and cattle, as the utmost wishes of my heart did you give to your servant. You did give to me all that I asked from you, so that I lacked nothing. See, Yah gave him all this that he has. Okay? Now from 19, family, verse 19, all the way to 20. Now I'm going to go from verse 19 to 40. Okay, so bear with me, family. This is a very good story right here. The power of Yah through the seed of Jacob, and the wickedness through his brother Esau. Okay. And you did afterwards say to me, return to your parents and to your birthplace, and I will still do well with you. And now that I have come, and you did deliver me from Laban, I shall fall in the hands of Esau, who will slay me, yea, together with the mothers of my children. Now therefore, O Yahuwah Elohim, deliver me, I pray you, also from the hands of my brother Esau, for I am greatly afraid of him. And if there is no righteousness in me, do it for the sake of Abraham and my father Isaac. And for I know that through kindness and mercy have I acquired this wealth. Now therefore I beseech you to deliver me this day with your kindness, and to answer me. And Jacob ceased praying to Yahuwah, and he divided the people that were with him with the flocks and cattle into two camps. And he gave the half to the care of Damascus, son of Eliezer, Abraham's servant, for a camp with his children, and the other half he gave to the care of his brother Eliyahu, the son of Eliezer, to be for a camp with his children. And he commanded them, saying, keep yourselves at a distance with your camps, and do not come too near each other. And if Esau come to one camp and slay it, the other camp at a distance from him will escape him. This is why he split the camp into two. Okay? Trying to avoid his sick brother, Esau. And Jacob tarried there that night, and during the whole night he gave his servants instructions concerning the forces and his children. Okay, now I'm going to this verse 27 all the way to 40. Okay, family. And Yahuwah heard the prayer of Jacob on that day, and Yahuwah then delivered Jacob from the hands of his brother Esau. And Yahuwah sent 3 angels of the angels of heaven, and they went before Esau and came to him. And these angels appeared to Esau and his people as 2,000 men, riding upon horses furnished with all sorts of war instruments. And they appeared in the sight of Esau and all his men to be divided into 4 camps, with 4 chiefs to them. And one camp went on, and they found Esau coming with 400 men toward his brother Jacob. And this camp ran toward Esau and his people and terrified them. And Esau fell off his horse in alarm, and all his men separated from him in that place, for they were greatly afraid. And the whole of the camp shouted after them when they fled from Esau, and all the warlike men answered, saying, surely we are the servants of Jacob, who is the servant of the Most High. And who then can stand against us? And Esau said to them, O then, my Adonai and brother Jacob is your Adonai, whom I have not seen for these 20 years. And now that I have this day come to see him, do you treat me in this manner? He's scared now. He see all them angels, okay, with swords and stuff. And the angels answered him, saying, as Yahuwah lives, were not Jacob, of whom you speak, your brother? We had not let one remain from you and your people, but only on account of Jacob will we do nothing to them. And this camp passed from Esau and his men and went away. And Esau and his men had gone from them about a league when the second camp came toward him with all sorts of weapons, and they also did to Esau and his men as the first camp had done to them. See, the three angels that Yah sent down to meet Esau and the 400 men, they appeared to Esau and his men as four different groups of 2,000 soldiers apiece. They caused them to see this. Okay, that's the power of Yah. And these angels, they're performing for Yah because Yah is answering Jacob's prayer. Okay, so it was just three angels, but they appeared to Esau and his men as four different groups of 2,000 soldiers apiece. Okay, to put the fear of God in them. Okay. And when they had left it to go on, behold, the third camp came toward him, and they were all terrified. And Esau fell off the horse, and the whole camp cried out and said, surely we are the servants of Jacob, who is the servant of Elohim, and who can stand against us? And Esau again answered them, saying, he says, oh, then Jacob, my Adonai, and your Adonai is my brother. And for 20 years I have not seen his countenance. And hearing this day that he was coming, I went this day to meet him. And do you treat me in this manner? See, he's lying. He's going to try to kill him. But you see all these soldiers with weapons and swords and stuff. Now he's trying to lie to these angels that know exactly what he was coming to do. Okay? And they answered him and said to him, as Yahuwah lives, were not Jacob your brother, as you did say, we had not left the remnant from you and your men, but on account of Jacob, of whom you speak, being your brother, we will not meddle with you or your men. And the third camp also passed from them, and he still continued his road with men toward Jacob, when the fourth camp came toward him. And they also did to him and his men as the others had done. And when Esau beheld the evil which the four angels had done to him and to his men, he became greatly afraid of his brother Jacob. And he went to meet him in peace. Okay? But check this passage out right here. And Esau concealed his hatred against Jacob because he was afraid of his life on account of his brothers Jacob, and because he imagined that the four camps that he had lighted upon were Jacob's servant. He was scared of those different companies of angels he saw with those swords. So now he's terrified for his life. Now he go to Jacob, his brother, with peace in his heart. But he's hiding his hatred, okay? But this is our Father Yah protecting the seed of Jacob and all that belonged to him, okay? Because Jacob was afraid of his maniac brother, Esau, okay? Now, family, I'll be jumping down to verse 55 to 58. And it says here, and the fear of Jacob and his terror fell upon his brother Esau, for Esau was greatly afraid of Jacob for what the angels of Elohim had done to Esau. And Esau's anger against Jacob was turned into kindness. God has all power, family. He's in control of everything. Don't stress about nothing. Don't worry about nothing. Whenever we go through something that's difficult and it don't seem like we're going to have a way out on the other end, let's give it to our Father. When we've done all we can do in our little power, we turn to our Father and ask him, and we beseech him, help me, Father. Help me through this. Give it to him. He can take us through anything. Look at what we went through. 400 years of oppression and affliction in this nation here alone. And we're still survivors because our Father makes sure we're going to survive, because he has great plans for us, all of us that love him. Okay, so everything is under his control. And what's going on with this country and the nations in the world, Donald Trump, he's acting like he's in control of everything with what he's doing, but he's actually being used by Yah. Yah is the one in control. No man down here on this earth is in control of anything. He's in that position because Yah allowed him to get it. Yah opened the door for him. But Yah will use anyone to serve his purposes, okay? Scriptures revolve around his people, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, not the nations and Esau. Prophecy revolves around his chosen people, family. Yah's chosen people, us Hebrew Israelites. As I continue, family. And when Esau saw Jacob running toward him, he also ran toward him, and he embraced him, and he fell upon his neck, and they kissed, and they wept. And Elohim put fear and kindness toward Jacob in the hearts of the men that came with Esau, and they also kissed Jacob and embraced him. And also Eliphaz, the son of Esau, with his 4 brothers, sons of Esau, wept with Jacob, and they kissed him and embraced him, for the fear of Jacob had fallen upon them all. Because he prayed to our Father, and our Father sent them angels. Okay? To scare the living daylights out of Esau and all those 400 men that was with him. Okay, now family, from here, I'll be moving on to the book of Jasher, chapter 47. Chapter 47, verses 1 to 10. And this passage will show that Isaac dies, okay? And Jacob, okay, goes there to be with his father before he dies, and so does Esau. And then out of all that he has, you know, it's up to Jacob and Esau what they want to do with it. Okay, now Jacob says to Esau, you can have all the livestock and the riches, you know, the gold and the silver and whatever, and let me have the land, or vice versa. You can take the land and let me have all the riches. Okay, and Esau made the choice that he was going to take all the proceeds, the livestock and the manservants, the maid servants, and all the riches, and left Jacob with the land. Okay. But at the death of Jacob, Esau gonna flip the script. Okay. But we're at the book of Jasher, chapter 47, verse 1 to 10. And Jacob, the son of Abraham, was still living in those days in the land of Canaan. He was very aged, 180 years old. And Esau, his son, okay, the brother of Jacob, was in the land of Edom. And he and his sons had possessions in it among the children of Seir. And Esau heard that his father's time was drawing nigh to die. And he and his sons and household came to the land of Canaan, to his father's house. And Jacob and his sons went forth from the place where they dwelt in Hebron, and they all came to their father's Jacob, their father Isaac, okay? And they found Esau and his sons in the tent, okay? And Jacob and his sons sat before his father Isaac, and Jacob was still mourning for his son Joseph, because his son Joseph had been sold years prior, so he still hadn't gotten over that. And Jacob, these Hebrew words, okay, and Isaac said to Jacob, bring me hither your sons, and I will bless them. And Jacob brought his 11 children before his father Isaac, and Isaac placed his hands upon all of the sons of Jacob, and he took hold of them and embraced them and kissed them one by one. And Isaac blessed them on that day, and he said to them, may the Elohim of your fathers bless you and increase your seed like the stars of heaven for number. And Isaac also blessed the sons of Esau, saying, may Elohim cause you to be a dread and a terror to all that will behold you and to all your enemies. And Isaac called Jacob and his sons, and they all came and sat before Isaac. And Isaac said to Jacob, Yahuwah the Most High of the whole earth said to me, unto your seed will I give this land, that land of Canaan, family, for an inheritance if your children guard my statutes and my ways, and I will perform to them the oath which I swore to your father Abraham. Now therefore, my son, teach your children and your children's children to fear Yahuwah and to go in the good way which will please Yahuwah the Most High. For if you guard the ways of Yahuwah and his statutes, Yahuwah will also guard you, his covenant with Abraham, and will do well with you and your seed all the days. Okie dokie. So that's at the 47 of the book of Jasher. Okay, and couple more verses. Verse 9, okay? Chapter 47, book of Jasher, verse 9 and 10. And when Isaac had finished commanding Jacob and his children, he gave up his ruach and died, and was gathered to his people. And Jacob and Esau fell upon the face of their father Isaac, and they wept. And Isaac was 180 years old when he died in the land of Canaan, in Chevron. And his sons carried him to the cave of Machpelah. which Abraham had bought from the children of Cheth for possession of a burial place. Okay, jumping down to verse 15 to 25. Book of Jasher, chapter 47. Okay, verse 15. And at the death of Isaac, he left his cattle and his possessions and all belonging to him to his sons. And Esau said to Jacob, Behold, I pray you, all that our father has left, we will divide it in 2 parts, and I will have the choice. And Jacob said, We will do so. And Jacob took all that Isaac had left in the land of Canaan, the cattle and the property, and he placed them in 2 parts before Esau and his sons. And he said to Esau, Behold, all this is before you. Choose you to yourself the half which you will take. And Jacob said to Esau, Hear you, I pray you, what I will speak to you, saying, Yahuwah Elohim of heaven and earth spoke to our father Abraham and Isaac, saying, Unto your seed will I give this land for an inheritance forever. Now therefore, all that our father has left is before you, and behold, all the land is before you. Choose you from them what you desire. If you desire the whole land, take it for you and your children forever. And I will take these riches, and if you desire the riches, take it to you, and I will take this land for me and for my children to inherit forever. Okay, now this is what Esau is going to do. He's going to make his decision, okay? And Nebaioth, the son of Ishmael, was then in the land with his children, and Esau went on that day and consulted with him, saying, Thus has Jacob spoken to me, and thus has he answered me. Now give your advice, and we will hear. And Nebaioth said, What is this that Jacob has spoken to you? Behold, all the children of Canaan are dwelling securely in their land. And Jacob says, He will inherit it with his seed all the days. Go now, therefore, and take all your father's riches, and leave Jacob your brother in the land, as he has spoken. And Esau rose up and returned to Jacob, and did all that Nebaioth, the son of Ishmael, had advised. And Esau took all the riches that Isaac had left, okay? And the souls, the beasts, the cattle, and the property, and all the riches, he gave nothing to his brother Jacob. And Jacob took all the land of Canaan, from the brook of Egypt to the river of Pereth, and he took it for an everlasting possession, and for his children, for his seed after him forever. Jacob also took from his brother Esau the cave of Machpelah, the cave that Abraham had purchased, which is in Hebron, which Abraham had bought from Ephraim for possession of a burial place for him and his seed forever. So the land was Jacob's, and Esau took all the riches when their father Isaac died. Okay? Now, family, we're going from here to the book of Jasher, chapter 56. Okay? See the power of Yahuwah through the seed of Jacob, and the wickedness through Esau and those with him. Okay? Book of Jasher, chapter 56, verse 1 to 5 first. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. And the days of Jacob and the years of his life were 147 years. Now, this is 25 years after they done made the choice. Okay, Jacob took the land and Esau took the riches. This 25 years later, now Jacob is old and he's about to die. Okay, and he's telling his sons, promised me that you will bury me with my ancestors in the land of Canaan. They're in Egypt right now. Okay, because Joseph has sent for all of his family from Canaan because it was a famine, and they had been in Egypt with him 17 years. Okay, now Jacob is about to die. Okay, at that time Jacob was attacked with that illness of which he died, and he sent and called for his sons Joseph from Egypt, and Joseph his son came from Egypt, and Joseph came to his father. And Jacob said to Joseph and his sons, Behold, I die, and Elohim of your ancestors will visit you and bring you back to the land of Yahuwah, which Yahuwah swore to give to you and to your children after you. Now therefore, when I am dead, bury me in the cave which is in Machpelah, in Hebron in the land of Canaan near my ancestors. And Jacob made his sons swear to bury him in Machpelah in Hebron, and his sons swore to him concerning this thing. And he commanded them, saying, serve Yahuwah the Most High, for he who delivers your fathers will also deliver you from all troubles. Okay, so this was their father Jacob speaking to them before he passed away. Okay, and he was saying that, behold, I die, and the Most High of your ancestors will visit you and bring you back to the land which Yahuwah swore to give to you and to your children after you. Now therefore, when I am dead, bury me in the cave which is in Machpelah. So actually, Jacob was prophesying to his sons and their sons that Yahuwah, Father Yah, was going to send them somebody from their seed to lead them back to the land of Canaan. He was talking about Moses. He was referring to this servant that Yah was going to raise up among the Hebrew Israelite people. And he was talking about Moses. And Moses led our people out of Egypt. But this over a century later. Okay. Now, family, book of Jasher, chapter 56, verse 15 to 22. And it reads as this. And you, my sons, honor each his brother and his relative, and command your children and your children's children after you to serve Yahuwah, the Most High of your ancestors all the days, in order that you may prolong your days in the land, you and your children and your children's children forever, when you do what is good and upright in the sight of Yahuwah the Most High, to go in all his ways. Okay. And you, Joseph, my son, forgive, I pray you, the wrongs of your brethren and all their misdeeds in the injury that they heaped upon you, for the Most High intended it for you and your children's benefit. And, O my son, leave not your brethren to the inhabitants of Egypt, neither hurt their feelings, for, behold, I consigned them to the land of Elohim in your hand to guard them from the Egyptians. And the sons of Jacob answered their father, saying, O our father, all that you have commanded us, so will we do. May the Most High only be with us. Okay? As I continue, verse 19. And Jacob said to his sons, so may Elohim be with you. When you guard all his ways, turn not from his ways, neither to the right or to the left, in proclaiming and performing what is good and upright in his sight. For I know that many and grievous troubles will befall you in the latter days in the land. Yea, your children and children's children only serve Yahuwah, and he will save you from all trouble. And it shall come to pass, when you shall go after the Most High to serve him, and will teach your children after you and your children's children to know Yahuwah, then will Yahuwah raise up to you and your children a servant from among you. He's talking about Moses, okay? And among your children, and Yahuwah will deliver you through his hand from all affliction, and bring you out of Egypt, and bring you back to the land of your fathers to inherit it securely. He's prophesying to them again that Yahweh is going to raise up a servant among them, among the Hebrews, to lead them out of Egypt back to the land of Canaan. He was referring to Moses, okay? And Jacob ceased commanding his sons, and he drew his feet unto the bed. Okay, he died and was gathered to his people. Okay, family, that ended verse 2, verse 31. And after the days of his weeping had passed away, at the end of 70 days, Joseph said to Pharaoh, I will go up and bury my father in the land of Canaan, as he made me swear, and then I will return. Okay, jumping down to verse 33 and 34. And Pharaoh commanded that it should be proclaimed throughout all Egypt, saying, whoever goes not up with Joseph and his brethren to the land of Canaan to bury Jacob shall die. And all Egypt heard of Pharaoh's proclamation, and they all rose up together, and all the servants of Pharaoh, and the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt went up with Joseph, and all the officers and nobles of Pharaoh went up also as the servant of Joseph. And they went to bury Jacob in the land of Canaan. Okay, so just about everybody that was in Egypt went to go help bury Jacob, Joseph's father. Okay, so now verses 37 to 41, family. And it says this, and Joseph placed upon the head of his father Jacob a large golden crown, and he put a golden scepter in his hand, and they surrounded the coffin, as was the custom of kings during their lives. And all the troops of Mizraim, which is Egypt, went before him in this array. At first, all the mighty men of Pharaoh and the mighty men of Joseph, and after them the rest of the inhabitants of Egypt, and they were all girded with swords and equipped with coats of mail, and the trappings of war were upon them. And all the weepers and mourners went at the distance opposite to the coffin, going and weeping and lamenting, and the rest of the people went after the coffin. And Joseph and his household went together near the coffin, barefooted and weeping, and the rest of Joseph's servants went around him. Each man had his ornaments upon him, and they were all armed with their weapons of war. And 50 of Jacob's servants went in front of the coffin, and they strewed along the road myrrh and aloes and all manner of perfume. And all the sons of Jacob that carried the coffin walked upon the perfumery, and the servants of Jacob went before them, strewing the perfume along the road. Okie dokie, family, from 46 to 68. All right, that will be Book of Jasher, chapter 56, verse 46 to 68 right now. And the report reached Esau, saying, Jacob died in Egypt, and his sons and all Egypt are conveyed with him to the land of Canaan to bury him. And Esau heard this thing, and he was dwelling in Mount Seir, and he rose up with his sons and all his people and all his household, a people exceedingly great, and they came to mourn and weep over Jacob. And it came to pass, when Esau came, he mourned for his brother Jacob, and all Egypt and all Canaan again rose up and mourned a great mourning with Esau over Jacob in that place. And Joseph and his brethren brought their father Jacob from that place, and they went to Hebron to bury Jacob in the cave by his fathers. And they came to Kirjath Arba, to the cave, and as they came, Esau stood with his sons against Joseph and his brethren as a hindrance in the cave, saying, Jacob shall not be buried therein, for it belongs to us and to our father. You see the conniving, lying, take Esau, his spirit? Now he took all the riches when Isaac died and told his brother Jacob to take all the land. Okay, so that's what happened. Now, 25 years later, Jacob passes away. His brother, Esau's brother, passes away. And now Joseph and all the Egyptians and his rest of his brothers come to bury him at the place Machpelah. That's the tomb where Abraham bought. Okay, now Esau is trying to say, let me finish with the story, how wicked he is. He took all the riches and told Jacob rather, to take the land. Now he's tripping. He's just wicked. And Joseph and his brethren heard the words of Esau's sons, and they were exceedingly angry. And Joseph approached to Esau, saying, what is this thing which they have spoken? Surely my father Jacob bought it from you for great riches after the death of Isaac. Now 25 years ago, and also all the land of Canaan, he bought from you and from your sons and your seed after you. And Jacob bought it for his sons and his seed after him for an inheritance forever. And why speak you these things this day? And Esau answered, saying, you speak falsely and utter lies. See, the things that Esau are guilty of, they'll turn around and say you are guilty of the stuff that they do. The nature of Esau is still the same way. They kidnap, rape, rob, and steal and try to colonize all the lands on earth. And they tell us, we the Israelites, that we, are savages. That's the nature of Esau. He has never changed. And Esau answered, saying, you speak falsely and utter lies, for I sold not anything belonging to me in all this land, as you say, neither did my brother Jacob buy anything belonging to me in this land. And Esau spoke these words in order to deceive Joseph with his words. For Esau knew that Joseph was not present in those days when Esau sold all belonging to him in the land of Canaan to Jacob. Joseph wasn't there, but of course his brothers told him what went down. And his servants, they also told Joseph what went down. So Joseph knew that that land belonged to the seed of Jacob and his offspring forever. Now Esau with this okie though, but he gonna pay dearly. Check it out. And Joseph said to Esau, surely my father inserted these things with you in the record of purchase and testified the record with witnesses. And behold, it is with us in Egypt. And Esau answered, saying to him, bring the record. All that you will find in the record, so will we do. And Joseph called to Naphtali, his brother, and he said, hasten quickly, stay not, and run, I pray you, to Egypt, and bring all the records of the purchase. He sealed the record, and the open record, and also all the first records in which all the transactions of the first birthright are written. Fetch you, and you shall bring them to us hither, that we may know from them all the words of Esau and his sons, which they spoke this day. And Naphtali hearkened to the voice of Joseph, and he hastened and ran to go down to Egypt. And Naphtali was lighter on his foot than any of the stags that were upon the wilderness, for he would go upon ears of corn without crushing them. He was fast as flash. He was fast running than all of his other brothers. And no animal in the wilderness, a stag is a deer, and they run like 40, 45 miles an hour. But Naphtali was faster than any land animal on earth during that time before our people fell. Exceptional speed. Y'all had the angels with them, and that's why they was able to do those great exploits that other people couldn't do. Okay, and Judah, the brother Judah, he was the strongest, and he could leap 50, 60 feet from the ground on top of tall towers and stuff. This is the power that Yah had given the seed of Jacob before our people fell, family. As I continue. But before Naphtali get back with the records, it's going to already be a battle going on, and Jacob will prevail over Esau. Check it out. And when Esau saw that Naphtali had gone to fetch the records, he and his sons increased their resistance against the cave, and Esau and all his people rose up against Joseph and his brethren to battle. And all the sons of Jacob and the people of Egypt fought with Esau and his men, and the sons of Esau and his people were smitten before the sons of Jacob, and the sons of Jacob slew Esau's people 40 men that day at his brother's funeral. Can you imagine? Okay. And Hushim, the son of Dan, the son of Jacob, was at that time with Jacob's sons, but he was about 100 cubits distance from the place of battle. For he remained with the children of Jacob, Jacob's sons, by Jacob's coffin to guard it. And Hushim was dumb and deaf, still he understood the voice of consternation among men. He knew something was going on that wasn't right. And he asked, saying, why do you not bury the dead? And what is this great consternation? And they answered him the words of Esau and his sons. And he ran to Esau in the midst of the battle, and he slew Esau with the sword, and he cut off his head. Esau got himself killed because his heart was so wicked. Okay? And it sprang to a distance, and Esau fell among the people of the battle. And when Hushim did this thing, the sons of Jacob prevailed over the sons of Esau. And the sons of Jacob buried their father Jacob by force in the cave, and the sons of Esau beheld it. And Jacob was buried in Hebron in the cave of Machpelah, which Abraham had bought from the sons of Sheth for the possession of a burial place. And he was buried in very costly garments. And no king had such honor paid him as Joseph paid to his father at his death. For he buried him with great honor, like the burial of kings. And Joseph and his brethren made a mourning of 7 days for their father. Now this will be in closing. Book of Judges, chapter 57, verses 1 to 4. And it was after this that the sons of Esau waged war with the sons of Jacob, and the sons of Esau fought with the sons of Jacob in Hebron. And Esau was still lying dead and not buried. And the battle was heavy between them, and the sons of Esau were smitten before the sons of Jacob. And the sons of Jacob slew the sons of Esau 80 men, and not one died of the people of the sons of Jacob. They lose not a soul. Okay? And the hand of Joseph prevailed over all the people of the sons of Esau. And he took Saphoth, the son of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, and 50 of his men captive. And he bound them with chains of iron and gave them into the hand of his servants to bring them to Egypt. And it came to pass, when the sons of Jacob had taken Saphoth and his people captive, all those that remained were greatly afraid of their lives from the house of Esau, lest they should also be taken captive. And they all fled with Eliphaz, the son of Esau, and his people, with Esau's body, and they went on their road to Mount Seir. And they came to Mount Seir, and they buried Esau in Seir, but they had not brought his head with them to Seir, for it was buried in that place where the battle had been in Hebron. But the story doesn't end right there. They went on to Mount Seir, gathered themselves together, and went and talked to some made friends from other towns, and gathered some more hundreds of men to go back to Egypt to fight against Joseph and his brothers and the Egyptians. And Jacob's sons, Joseph and his brothers and the Egyptians, they prevailed against Esau and the other people that he brought with him. And they hightailed it out from Egypt, defeated again. Okay? And that's what I wanted y'all to understand, the power of Yah through the seed of Jacob and the wickedness in the nature of Esau and those with him. That will be Psalm 83. And still to this day, nothing has changed. But Yah is raising the Israelites back up, the Hebrews back up, and all this mess that's going on in the world. Yah is taking down Psalm 83 nations. Trump is not doing this. Yah is taking them down, slowly but surely. Okay, so family, this has been Israelite family. The nature of 83 must be exposed and dealt with. I'm Brother Judah Israel. I hope you got some understanding in Yah's precious name. So until next time, may Yah bless you, your families. Stay safe. My love and shalom.